Please.
I think you're running late, so my duty is just to welcome you virtually here in Villa Erba in Chernobyl, our historic site for our forum. I'm very pleased to host the YML project. We are partnering in it, and we have worked within the project with a lot of enthusiasm, because we are talking about young people. So our future, our children and our grandchildren. Just a few words regarding this edition, this weird edition of the Forum 2020. I have to say that in many ways it's exceptional, not only for the pandemic, but also because due to the fact that we had to organize it in distance, we have an exceptional affluence of people that have registered for the different events. We are talking of 16 different events in the week in which the forum has been organized. And as of today, as of this morning, we have a record registration of 2,800 people, including the event we are organizing with our partners of IMS in North America, WMF North America, the forum in North America in Phoenix, that will interest the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Let me thank the people of the foundation that have been working, I have to say, with determination and enthusiasm within the project YML. Marco Taisch, our scientific chairman, Marisa Marini, Casidsid, they have done a good work, and I'm sure that, and I hope that the project will continue. One last minute, just to remind you that we have organized and will be presented tomorrow afternoon the project Back to the Future, over 4 different topics: policy, productivity, preparedness, and people. So within the people, we had a specific group dealing with women in manufacturing. Due to the fact that we would like the project to continue in a different organization, it is our intention to include within the people also the young manufacturers. So I'm sure that the young manufacturing leaders will help us a lot in generating culture starting from the young generations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, President Ribolla, for these important highlights.
Bye-bye.
Now we have a video by Paola Fantini. She is the Director of Education, EIT Manufacturing.
Hello. It's a pleasure for me today to welcome you here at the World Manufacturing Week. I'm Paola Fantini, the Education Director of AT Manufacturing. AT Manufacturing is the European Innovation Community for Manufacturing. And I want to tell you that we value very much the collaboration with you, young manufacturing leaders, and we count on you to shape the future of manufacturing, a future that has to be smarter, more sustainable, and more resilient. So my invitation is that you go ahead in developing and expanding this network of really passionate young students and professionals. Thank you for all your work and all your passion, and have a nice continuation of the session.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Paola Fantini. Now we have 2 distinguished guests in our studio. I would like to introduce Professor Marco Taisch. He is the professor at Milano Polytechnic University. Polytechnic University also lead partner of this project. I would like to introduce you another guest, very distinguished guest. She is the Mrs. Marisa Marini, am I right? And Marisa Marini is Chief Operating Officer, World Manufacture Foundation. And World Manufacturing Foundation, I would like to remind you, is the partner of the organizer of World Manufacturing Week and the World Manufacturing Forum, also partner of YML.
So thank you very much. My role today is to give you a short introduction of what the YML is, the Young Manufacturing Leaders Initiative. The Young Manufacturing Leaders Initiative is part of the World Manufacturing Foundation. We think that manufacturing is a peacekeeper, and we think that understanding the role of manufacturing that is going to have in the future society is there very important. For this reason, we need to address, and we are addressing policymakers, we are addressing companies, we are addressing academia, but we are thinking in the long term, and for this reason we have decided to involve since the beginning young people, the future young leaders of our globe. For this reason we have created these initiatives, the Young Manufacturing Leaders Network. The purpose is to spread awareness of the importance of manufacturing. Manufacturing for too long has been seen as something dark, as something not clean, as something which is polluting, as something which is not responding to the current image, to the current brand image of what is manufacturing today. We need to change this idea, we need to change this opinion, and because the reality is totally different from what has been used to be 20, 30, 40 years ago. Manufacturing is creator of jobs. It is not necessarily, as is said most of the time, as a creator on the employment rate. We need to engage young people. We need to engage you. We need to engage all of you in order to create a better future world. This is a great opportunity for you, but it's also a great opportunity for us. It's a great opportunity for you because you can empower your skills. You can really become a change maker in your life. You can really become a change maker in your future. The future is going to be yours. You have to be active of this perspective. The founding partners that are at the core of these initiatives are represented in these slides. There are universities, as you see, but there are also research centers, and of course there is the World Manufacturing Foundation, which is helping and supporting to spread this initiative all over the world. You see that we started in Europe, but already we are growing all over the world, North America, Asia. We are targeting, of course, South America and Africa as next of the continent that will be part of this initiative. We have been already receiving a lot of content from this continent, a request of joining. It's growing really fast, and we are fully supporting this growth. Who are, according to our idea, the young manufacturing leaders? Are young people, of course. People who are at the moment studying at universities, people who just finished their bachelor program or master program. Some of them are working in their PhD, but some of them, as you see here, have already been working in the real life, in the real environment. You see that 31% of them are working in companies. Some of them have also decided to be an entrepreneur. This is very important because we are looking for diversity in this community from the many different perspectives. Diversity is something which we are looking for because it brings value to the network, but it brings value to each of the young manufacturing leaders. You also see here the spread of age in terms of age, exactly. That's to give you the idea of how young the people of the young manufacturing leaders are. What they've done so far, they've done a lot of stuff, a lot of things in the last few months. It's a young network, but it's a network which I think already made a lot of results, tangible results, not only for the network itself, but also for the manufacturing community at large. Of course, they start with a kickoff. That happened, unfortunately, during the pandemic period, and in spite of this, I think the kickoff went very well, and I think that this has created somehow a kind of stronger link among the people, among the members of the network. They have prepared a lot of material. There are videos, content which has been provided. This is really interesting from my perspective to see how young people are looking at or perceiving the technology. I teach technology, I teach manufacturing, I teach Industry 4.0, and I saw those videos and I saw that there is a great perspective and a different perspective from my point of view, and I think that this is a really valuable initiative. To look at how young people are looking at the future, how young people are looking at the manufacturing is definitely really interesting. They have already contributed to the activity of the World Manufacturing Foundation. How? First of all, they have been joining some of the groups which have been working in the initiative we launched this year, the Back to the Future, the Manufacturing Beyond COVID-19. This is an initiative which has spread all over the world, having experts discussing on how and what should be done in order to create a new manufacturing. What is going to be the new normal in manufacturing in the future? And young people has contributed to this, and this was a great contribution, great ideas, really interesting. And of course, I'm inviting you to read these documents because they are fully of know-how and really interesting perspective into the future. But also we want them in our report, and for this reason we have asked them to contribute to the through essays on how they see the role of artificial intelligence. This is the topic of this year into the manufacturing field. And these four, let me say, outputs are just the starting point of what is going to be a long run, a long lasting initiative. And of course, what I want to do is to invite you to join them. Further opportunities, you see them here. First, you can build relationship. This is a global network. You can build the future. You can help us to build the future. The future is for you, is not for us. We are living in the present, but we need to look at 10, 20, 30 years in front of us on what is going to be the role of manufacturing. By working with us, you also learn new skills, you learn to practice new competences, you really enjoy a global perspective, and this I think has a value for each of you as an individual. In general, we are asking you to create impact. We are asking you to create social impact and positive impact. This is what we are looking for, and we are hoping that this will be something that will be rewarding your role in this. And let me conclude with this. I love this sentence. This has been always part of my career. I always ask myself how I can change things, how I can have dreams to come true. And the only way to do it is why not. So what I'm asking you, why not joining the Young Manufacturing Leaders Network? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor Taisch. Professor Taisch highlighted how important is involve young people for this kind of project. Now we give the word to Mrs. Marini. She's from World Manufacturers Foundation, as I told before. Please.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon from my side too. I'm holding here in my hands the strategic plan of the World Manufacturing Foundation that, speaking of young people, is quite young too. The foundation has been established 2 years ago formally, and we gave ourselves the strategic plan very recently that, having the goal, the foundation has one goal which is close to what just Professor Taisch just told you. They can invite young people to be part of it. We aim at spreading industrial culture everywhere, and we want to help young people to expand knowledge, promote innovation, and foster cooperation. And this is one chance that through the Young Manufacturing Leader Network those people who who will join it will have an opportunity to do it. So the foundation has given the opportunity also to young people to be already part, and we want to grow this link more and more. For example, this week, during the manufacturing week, you will have those of you who are already registered and those of you who will, you have to be between 18 and 30 years old. You can join the network right away, and until the 15th of November, you will have the opportunity of having sort of like a business-to-business sort of a contact with other young people your age from all over the country to discuss about the opportunity that has been envisioned for you before. So please connect, go to our website. The foundation is aiming to continue the bond and the link with young manufacturing leaders, young people, women and boys, girls and boys, let's say, that would like to be either professional, entrepreneurs, students, who wants to have a career or a place within manufacturing. And we, during the forum that we are holding every year, or through contests like the report or other activities, like for example this B2B contact opportunity that we are giving or teaching also, training, you can stay in contact with the foundation. So I just invite you to, through the website of the Young Manufacturing Readers and also through the website of the foundation, and following this week events, you can stay in contact, and we can grow a stronger bond together and make, open other opportunities.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Marini from World Manufacturing Foundation, partner of this valuable project for youngs together, Polytechnic University of Milano. Now let's see other 4 partners of this project from different countries. There will be 4 persons with us very soon. The connection is nearly ready. We will have guests from Sweden, Germany, Czech Republic, and Spain. Ready? I can see you. I would like to start presentation with Skoogh. I hope my pronunciation is good for you. He is from Chalmers University of Technology. And we have from Germany, Bastian Thiede, Technical University of Braunschweig. And from Czech Republic, Libor Beránek, Czech Technical University in Prague. And finally, from Spain, we have Arroyo, Munoz, Tecnalia Research and Innovation. This is a research center. Other 3 are the university. Welcome, everyone. Can you hear me?
Very good. Thank you.
I can see that you can hear me. I have some questions for you for this panel. Panel name is the Structures of the Network and its Added Value for Young People. This is the first panel of this new session, and I am starting with my question for Mr. Skoogh from Sweden. Mr. Skoogh, welcome and many thanks for being with us. My question is, how is the network structured? Can you explain us?
Yes, please. Thank you, and good afternoon. This is a network of more than 100 young students and professionals, as you heard, and we are all part of the network to help each other towards a career in the manufacturing sector. And we are connected through local communities that we call city hubs. And at the moment, we have 5 city hubs around Europe. We have one in Milan, Italy. We have one in Prague, Czech Republic. and we have one Basque City Hub in Bilbao in Spain, and we have one City Hub in Germany in Braunschweig, and finally where I am located at the moment in Gothenburg in Sweden. And of course, we are all connected to the rest of the world through the World Manufacturing Foundation. But as you also heard in earlier presentations, we are here to grow this network. So we are continuously looking for new young manufacturing leaders and also additional city hubs, both in Europe and in the rest of the world.
Thank you very much, Mr. Skoogh from Sweden, Chalmers University of Technology. Now I have a question for Mr. Bastian Thiede, and he's from Technical University of Braunschweig from Germany. I would like to ask you a question about the city hubs. What are the city hubs and what's their role?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So, of course, we would like to see a self-sustaining network of young talents. But when we came up with the idea of the Young Manufacturing Leaders Network, we thought that we would require some kind of support and continuity in order to keep this network alive. And this is why we came up with the concept of local city hubs across Europe. As you heard, of course, we would like to have more and more city hubs being established in the future. But right now, this is our backbone for our initial boost up. And the city hubs not only support us in the way we can communicate with young manufacturing leaders, it helps us also to organize overarching events like this one or our contest. We already mentioned this. We bound the city hub to educational or research or training centers in order to provide again some continuity and in order to boost local connection to other stakeholders like alumni from the same institution, from regional organizations, companies, and so on. And with our local city hubs in place, we would like to see this as a home base for our young manufacturing leaders, as some kind of point to relate to, and as some point of coming together. Of course, nowadays in Corona times, it's quite tough virtually being connected together. On the other hand, this is again a great opportunity to meet new young manufacturers to come together and work on nowadays challenges. And this is what we would love to see in our local city hubs, people's coming together or students coming together, working on the challenges and spread the word of mouth about our network, spread the idea, approach new members and hopefully establish soon more and more versatile city hubs across Europe and maybe the world.
Much, Mr. Thiede, for your contribution. Let's go to the Czech Republic. We have Mr. Libor Beránek there for us from Czech Technical University in Prague. A question for you. Which topics did partners and members of the network agreed on address for the first activities?
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Maybe I will start a little bit broader answer. First of all, I would like to also thank you to our young manufacturing leaders here in Prague. The City Hub was basically built within the cooperation of our existing engineering students club, and basically with the discussion of the other partners and with basically our students, we figure out that there are some topics resonating today within the society and also within the industry. And that's basically how we came up with these ideas about the topics. So starting, the first topic was about the 3D printing. And we wanted to separate it between how to start at home, how to become a maker, if you want to involve someone into the manufacturing to become interesting. Maybe the first step is that they really to everyone's trying to make something at home with more or less success. And 3D printing of polymers is today very accessible. So we have one of the topics is 3D printing using polymer materials. How to start at home, basically very easily described. Then we have also a topic when you want to make it professional, when you want to start with production of actual production parts, you will start 3D printing with metals. Not everyone has access to this technology, but a lot of universities basically has. So we have another introduction into this more complex matter of 3D printing metals, starting with design for additive, with topology optimization, and so on. And the other topic, which is also very common today, maybe people and students have definitely problems to answer it. What is the Industry 4.0? Why we speak about it as a revolution? Why 4.0? What were the previous 3 ones? So we started, or we're trying to also describe these topics to the younger audience, that there was some historical, I would say, development. So now we have reached some significant milestones. So we try to call it Industry 4.0, but basically we are trying to put then the picture of the automation of processes, of data processes, which is working together, that there is some, I would say, change of infrastructure which was used, the PLCs and the industrial infrastructures for communication are now slowly replaced by Internet of Things. So all these terms we are trying to explain with a very, I would say, friendly way. And then the 2 last topics, because there were a total of 5 topics, is artificial intelligence. So how you perceive the artificial intelligence, what you can think about when you are thinking about artificial intelligence, where it is used today, with some practical examples, I would say, and also what are the failures, famous failures of the artificial intelligence, basically some analytical tool which you usually learn or try to program for a specific task and to receive something which is called broader. AI is really a challenge today, so we are trying to introduce this also to the younger audience. And then the last, I would say, topic which is resonating with the ESA, European Space Agency, or NASA, or SpaceX, is rocket science. Because everyone wants to try, when you are describing topics that this is difficult, you always people, this is a rocket science. So we wanted to introduce this topic, which has a foundation in mechanical engineering, of course. So we have tried to explain it for the younger audience, also to try to motivate them to join basically the industrial sector in general. And that these topics are working. We have already made here in Czech Republic 2 basically workshops with our industrial partners. And regarding the Industry 4.0, we had something like 150 attendees. And for the 3D printing of metals, which was held last week, we have something like 160 students. So we can see that this is raising awareness and that really the students are interested inside these topics. And also, starting of December, the web pages will be used of the Young Manufacturing Leaders Initiative, and all these activities will be linked there. So that's basically everything from me.
Thank you very much for your contribution, Mr. Beránek. And now we go to Spain. Welcome to Mrs. Ana Arroyo Munoz from Tecnalia Research and Innovation, another partner of this valuable project. Mrs. Munoz, good afternoon. I have a question, 2 questions for you. And the first one is, what will be the connection with industry associations? And the other one, what are the plans for next year? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, well, as it has been said in the introduction, this is about engaging and connecting. So the network YML, its nature is a network, so it should be connected to other actors. So it is born in an ecosystem, so they have to be connected to different players in the ecosystem. It could be the education and research or labs units. It could be local agencies or regional agencies related to the manufacturing sector. It can be, of course, industrial associations, clusters, and of course, companies themselves, and also to society. And it has been said, this topic about this society, because young manufacturing leaders, we consider them as ambassadors, inspiration for students in high school, for example. And also, they should be connected to the industry associations. For example, in the Basque Country, Well, in Spain, we have an association related to additive manufacturing and 3D printing. And this is the type of association that young manufacturing leaders should be connected to. How to connect and what to do with them is to be defined in the next project. But for sure, the network not only has to connect the city hubs, but the city hubs to the ecosystem. So how to connect them? One of the things that have been proved to be successful is that those students, young manufacturers, or it could be play a key role in innovation within companies. What we call this solving challenge to the industry, where the industry put on the table a challenge, and in groups participants solve it and came up with a solution. So they bridge the university and the young manufacturing leaders, young workers, young professionals with the university. Also, they can have let's say dialogues with CEOs or about the new job opportunities. What are the emerging careers, the skills needed? So there are a lot of things to do between the young manufacturing and the different actors in the ecosystem. But they have to define to who they want to connect, how they want to connect, and what for. And this will be in the next year, because this year we have created the seed, and now we have to water the seed to make it grow and connect to more actors. And the next year, it's about enlarging the network. It's about creating some procedures to harmonize city hubs. It's about growing the network itself and more countries and more city hubs to come. So this is the activity for next year.
Contribution, Mrs. Ana Arroyo Munoz from Spain. I have some questions here for the participants. If you have any question for having more information about this project, of course, who is listening us can send the questions with an email, and the participant will be happy to answer them maybe more detailed way to their question and have the very clear answers. I can see here on my pad a question from Germany, our guest Bastian Thiede. Germany, especially at the technical university, is very, famous in all over the world. Many young people want to go to study there. About these projects, I have a question. They will ask me from Italy, this question is coming from Italy, if you have any plans for next year also. Mr. Thiede, can you hear me? This is for you.
I cannot really understand you. Can you just repeat the end of the question, please?
Okay. There is a question here from a young student, and he says that in Germany, if in your organization, what are the plans for next year for Technical University of Braunschweig?
Yeah, of course. In the next year, we would like to really ramp up our activities regarding this event to boost the activity, and especially to put a stronger focus on our possibilities for a sustainable and more sustainable production, and how we can contribute to this development in future. And what our role is, and how manufacturers or young talents can step into manufacturing and shape the future here, especially with this sustainability focus.
Thank you very much. Bastian Thiede from Germany, Mr. Skoogh from Sweden, and I have another question for you. This time is coming from, let me see, in Switzerland, another young student. So he's very curious about to know if did you have the response that you were hoping for this project for divulgation and response from the young people?
Yes, I think so. In the end, we all live in this strange time, so we had a difficulty to reach out, or we needed to invest even more energy in reaching out and creating this network. But it's really starting to take off, and we see a lot of good initiatives in these local city hubs, and as we heard from example from Czech Republic, that there are really good activities with lots of participants in these different topics at the moment. And I think we have a good trend as well, so we will see a lot more activities and new YMLs in the near future as well. So a positive feeling about the future.
Thank you very much, Mr. Skoogh. And I have another question for Mr. Beránek from Czech Republic. Here, a very, very curious young person asked about if you had any difficulty for this project, what was the most difficult moment? And the following question is, what is the most satisfactory point this project for you? As a response from young people. Maybe there is a problem with your microphone. Mr. Beránek, your microphone? We cannot hear you.
There is no problem. I have to turn it off, so
yes.
That was my mistake. It was actually no problem, but my stupidity.
Now we are clearly hear you.
But I heard the answer, so now if I may answer, I heard the question, so if I may answer. So basically regarding the negatives, so I would start with the positives. Basically we was able to identify a group of young people here in Czech Republic who were basically very interested in the topic of the project, who were feeling the same need, I would say, to speak with the younger generation about manufacturing, try to interest them to this field of education. So basically, there were no big obstacles, because if you have a very good team of people who are willing to do things and who are coming with their own ideas, I would say for me this was the most pleasant part of the project also. So I wouldn't have any idea about the difficulties. Of course, we can speak about the corona and how we are shut down somewhere in-house, but I would say with the right group of people, and we have a very, very, I would say, fiery ones. We are already preparing projects for the next year. So I am an old horse for this generation. So I'm really glad that I have younger colleagues that are really sharing their ideas about how to promote manufacturing. We are thinking about starting podcast. We are already collecting topics and I would say potential persons. So when you are solving problems only when you have too much activities or when the people want to do something, it's, I would say, mostly positive. Unfortunately, we are here in that situation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Beránek. Mrs. Munoz, I asked you before about what are the plans for next year, and you clearly answered my question, but the same thing I would like to ask you. From the beginning of this project, did you ever think that response would be so positive from young people? I mean, because now coronavirus makes everything is very, very difficult, and realization of this kind of project under the shadow of the COVID-19, it's much more difficult maybe regarding to whole project. So what are you thinking about this? I can't not hear you. Microphone, please.
Yes, the same.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the key point is to find enthusiastic people who are enthusiastic about the project. And where do you find them? So you find it near the university, of course, near the technological center. So this is the key point: find the right people. Of course, young people, they have a lot of interest. They have a lot of offer of things to do, things to participate. I mean, also in the professional way, there are already associations, there are networks. So the key, let's say, point to sell the network is what is in for me. So we let's say we offer a context where they can grow as professionals, where they can connect to other people in other countries with the same interest, sharing knowledge about the topics they want to talk about, like I mean, digital factories, additive manufacturing. So they choose the topics they want to talk to. So yeah, I'm positive because we have found the right people for the starting point, and now it's about getting funds of the project and involve them in the network.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Arroyo Munoz. My understanding is we are crossing very tough times, but if the one project is good and it can have very positive response and good results, I thank you very much for your participation and for your precious contribution to our panel. Thank you very much. We are end of this beautiful discussion with partners of the project together, Polytechnic of Milano University and World Manufacturing Foundation. Now we have YML Essay Content Awards, and for this I would like to invite here Mr. Mark Casidsid. Welcome, Mr. Casidsid. Mr. Casidsid is research analyst from World Manufacturing Foundation. Welcome again. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. So, as Professor Taisch mentioned a while ago, the young manufacturing leaders from all over the world are involved in the different activities of the World Manufacturing Foundation. And one of those activities is the World Manufacturing Report. So the World Manufacturing Report is a white paper, an annual white paper, which outlines the most significant trends in the manufacturing sector. And this year, the chosen topic was artificial intelligence in manufacturing. So back in June, we or the partners of the Young Manufacturing Leaders Network launched this essay contest, asking contributors from all over the world to submit their essays on the different topics that are covered by the report. And those submissions were evaluated by the World Manufacturing Report editorial board based on several criteria such as creativity, topic understanding, and overall style. So without further ado, I will now announce the winners from the Young Manufacturing Leaders Essay Contest. So the first topic is about the relationship between human capital and artificial intelligence. So how will artificial intelligence shape the transformation of the existing and future workforce? The first question is, can AI and workers coexist? So this topic was assigned to the Milan City Hub. Our first winners are Thomas Gittler and Raphael Lawrence from the Milan City Hub. Thomas Gittler is researcher at Inspire AG in Zurich, while Raphael Lawrence is a research associate and PhD candidate at ETH Zurich. Our second winner is also from the Milan City Hub. We have Andrea Tanzini. Andrea Tanzini is a sales engineer at Staubli. The second topic is about the ethical questions surrounding AI in manufacturing and what needs to be done. Our winner is Mukund Subramanian. Mukund is a PhD student in production engineering from Chalmers University of Technology. Next, we have the topic, how does AI support innovation and the innovation within the manufacturing sector? This topic was assigned to the Prague City Hub. Our winner is Lucas Pelikan. Lucas is a project manager and 3D printing specialist at the Czech Technical University in Prague. The last topic deals with how AI improves customer experience. This topic has been assigned to the Bilbao Basque Country City Hub. We have Naya Auricocha Palacios. She is a student of Business Administration and Management and Engineering in Industrial Technologies at the University de Deusto. Congratulations to our 5 winners. Of course, we also receive outstanding contributions from our YMLs. And we have decided to feature some of them in the World Manufacturing Report. So we have 3 special mentions. The first one, we have an essay from Alessio Fino from the Milan City Hub. Alessio is a high school student at the Liceo Scientifico Statale Carlo Cattaneo. We also have Alessandro Fumi and Dino Galassi from the Milan City Hub. Alessandro Fumi and Dino Galassi were students from the Polytechnical School of Management and one of the pioneers of the Polytechnical School of Management in Industrial Club. And last but not the least, we also have Ludmila Rudchikova from the Prague City Hub. She is a PhD student at the CTU in Prague. So congratulations again to all our winners and to the special mentions. I take this opportunity to invite you all to stay tuned to our presentation of the 2020 World Manufacturing Report entitled Manufacturing in the Age of Artificial Intelligence. So the report will be published, presented, and shared online on Thursday, the 12th of November. And we invite you to read all the winning essays. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Casidsid, for being with us. Thank you.